All right, that is Levy's graveyard from last game. Doesn't get to start with that. Neonate into Stinkweed Imp. That's probably a keeper for Raph, right? Oh yeah, Bloodghast too?
Yeah, I don't think you ever cut, or you ever mulligan, like Dredge Enabler plus Dredger. I think that's just like your deck.
Ooh, turn 1 Grafdigger's Cage for Sam, though.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Wow, he did mulligan to 5, though? There's no cards missing off screen. There's just 3 cards left in his hand. There's a couple of quick mulligans.
On the plus side, when you mulligan to 5, it is easier to get Hellbent for Bridge.
That is true. Only hit mulligan to 5 last game. Maybe he could.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he went to 6. Should have gone one lower.
Yeah, here's turn 2 Cage.
Levy lets it resolve.
Because he had a lot to say about it, right?
He could dredge in response, right? With Neonate and hope to hit Narcomoeba specifically. Sure. And then get some stuff into the graveyard. So then if you top decked a like an Abrupt Decay or something, then you can like start getting things back immediately, like if you hit a Bloodghast. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's better. You know, I'm not sure if that's like better than just letting it resolve. But there's a decision.
Insolent Neonate does attack.
Right, yeah.
Sam filling up his graveyard somehow. The Dredge player has nothing going in his own graveyard yet.
Sam did an interesting play there. It's one of those little ways you can get value off of Mishra's Bauble and turn it from a blind discard into a scry. He cracked it and looked at his own library, and then after seeing what the card was, then he activated Shredder on himself.
Do you see what Levy just drew?
I do see the Icefall.
It's so expensive though. He doesn't have a 4th land drop, so he can't actually cast it yet. But Sam doesn't have a whole lot going on either. Yeah, doing his best bauble shenanigans to try to set up his draw, but basically a couple of mill rocks and nothing else.
Well, one cool thing about one cool thing about the Icefall here is that Levy does still have double Neonate in play.
Yep.
So if Sam didn't find like the one surgical extraction in the near future, stuff could get pretty gnarly.
It may actually contribute to the reason that Levy declined sacking Neonate as a response to Cage. Hello, Ensnaring Bridge is here. Oh yeah, Raph desperately needs that 4th land.
Just giving Sam time, I guess. Go Spellbomb, go.
Empty-handed, hellbent with an Ensnaring Bridge. 4th land off the top would be great for International Alliance. It's Ancient Grudge off the top. That doesn't suck.
Seems better. Seems better than a 4th land off the top.
Fair. He just has to hit the Cage first so that he can then flash it back to hit the bridge, I assume is how you play this?
Yeah.
Yeah. First, got to knock the Cage out. Now you're allowed to flash back. We'll try to get Levy's graveyard opened up for you.
Yep.
Down goes Bridge. Down goes Cage. That was quite the draw.
Yes. Yes. Heck of a card, that Ancient Grudge. Heck of a card. Well, that one would have been really good before now.
Indeed. TBD whether it's enough to let Sam go find what he needs. Yeah, I mean, milling Ancient Grudge while there's a Grafdigger's Cage in play is obviously amazing. That's the whole reason we keep talking about Icefall rather than Ancient Grudge, is that Icefall actually beats that.
Yeah.
You can still get the Icefall back with the Grafdigger's Cage in play. But you're not casting it from the graveyard. You're really activating the recover ability.
Yeah.
All right. Ancient Stirring, Swerve Invention. Yeah, Lantern turns Sam's deck back on, where he can try to stitch it all together. Third Insolent Neonate, possibly a third copy of Icefall, or fourth copy of Icefall.
True. If Levy even ends up needing to Icefall, right?
Right. Well,
currently,
the worm means Sam can find a bridge again. I mean, I think Sam's just debating now whether he wants to Ancient Stirrings or whether he wants to wait and draw the word next turn. Seems like he wants to draw a word next turn.
Kind of surprised that Levy didn't dredge.
I feel like he values the ability to sack Neonates to trigger recover.
Yeah. I would value that a lot higher if he had a fourth land, but...
Fair. I see it. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just...
Yeah.
I understand what he's... Oh. All right. Sam draws the word, now casts his Ancient Stirrings. I mean, the little 1/1 beatdown is also adding up, for the record.
It is. Yeah, Sam's down to 11.
Now, just a land off the Stirrings. So he can whir for bridge.
I don't know how close Sam is. I don't know enough about Lantern. Like, I know Lantern plus a couple of pieces is good.
Okay.
And I know having... Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, Sam passed, and Levy has decided that it's time. He cashes in a Neonate, wants to get the dredging started, and finds himself a Narcomoeba.
Also changes the top card of his library if he was looking for that fourth land.
Good point. That's probably why he didn't do it last time. He wanted to draw the Insolent Neonate. Now Sam sees this Ancient Grudge coming, and there's no Grafdigger's Cage, so even if he mills it, Levy gets to flash it back.
Oh, one aspect of these Insolent Neonates that I was kind of sleeping on was that it is an instant speed draw to grab the top card of your library, too, if you are facing the Lantern lock.
That is a great point. All right. Beginning of combat for Levy. Sam's thinking about whir. Oh, Levy did draw the Gemstone Mine. So he found land number 4 finally.
Yep.
Changing the top of his library, just like he said. He sacked the Insolent Neonate, got a Dredge, got a Narcomoeba, and gets to draw the 4th land. So yeah, Sam is going to instant speed whir. He's going to whir for 1. Is this second copy of Grafdigger's Cage?
I would imagine so. But I don't have a very good imagination.
I mean, seeing that Ancient Grudge, he can't just get a bridge. He knows that won't work. Even though he doesn't know about the Icefall, he does see the Ancient Grudge coming.
You could hypothetically exile Grudge with Pixis. It seems unlikely with the double Neonate in play, but it...
All right, he does go for the second copy of Cage. I'm pretty sure he's 1 in the main, 1 in the board. Indeed. So that is the second and last copy of Grafdigger's Cage. So Academy Ruins can obviously recycle it if Sam finds one. Now, still Levy's begin combat step. Cage does not stop him from attacking for 3.
Yeah, I think Sam's planning on taking 3 this turn, taking 3 again next turn, and cracking Shredder to get back bridge.
Okay, and now he's going to go ahead and shred the Grudge now, because he wanted to see if Levy was going to sack Neonate, therefore not being able to attack for as much. So Levy declines to sacrifice the Neonate. Levy knows he's got an Icefall in his hand.
And then if he had sacked Neonate, then Sam could have responded with the Pixis, which is a better card to exile Ancient Grudge anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Levy was happy with the way that all played out. Because that cage is about to go away, and Ancient Grudge Flashback is going to be live alongside Recover. Icefall.
I can't believe we're losing to Icefall. Levy, man.
No accident that demands in the Hall of Fame.
Fair point. Fair point.
Crazy. Welding Jar off the top just after the nick of time.
And
Wow.
Sam is a mana short of cracking Shredder to rebuy Cage, play Cage. I suppose the Welding Jar does shut off Ancient Grudge Flashback, or can at least like counter the first Grudge Flashback.
Levy has to decide how he feels about this Darkblast. All right, upkeep. Do you want to draw a Darkblast? There are no dredgers in his yard, but he does have what he can neonate, discard a Stinkweed Imp, and pay the recover on Icefall.
Yep.
All during his upkeep to then draw a fresh non-Darkblast card.
Which seems pretty worth.
Darkblast is, yeah, I'm with you. The only question is how. I think the only question is how much he values Neonate as an attacker. Honestly.
Yeah, 3 damage versus 8 is relevant. Darkblast is also like kind of interesting because you can Darkblast your Narcomoeba to then rebuy Icefall, like we were kind of talking about during sideboarding.
It's true. Oh, and if he doesn't spend his mana on recover, he can just summon a Narcomoeba too. Yeah, he does not sack the Neonate. He just contents himself with drawing a Darkblast. Now he gets to attack for 3, so 3 turn clock.
Sam drops down to 5.
I mean, do you summon a creature here?
Blackman is kind of.
Guess not. Oh, yeah, Narcomoeba is a Gemstone Mine counter, so that's a little sketchy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, God, his mana is terrible. He's holding 5 black cards that cost a total of 7 black mana. And a blue card. His lands generate red, red-green, and Gemstone Mine.
You usually don't cast your cards in Dredge. You usually don't plan on doing that.
I've sometimes you just need to summon little dorks and hope you get there. All right, Sam uses Ancient Stirrings on the stack into Ensnaring Bridge. Did he actually draw the Ensnaring?
He rebought Ensnaring Bridge at end of turn with the Codex Shredder.
And then Stirrings down to Vault. Is it time? Is it time for Darkblast, my own creature? Or is it time for sack? Oh, it's Ancient Grudge Flashback first, sure. Let's get rid of the Welding Jar.
Yep. And then Regeneration is a bubble. So once the bubble is burst, another Ancient Grudge would be able to pop it.
Wow. It's Icefall time. This is the way Raph Levy drew it up. Like
I don't want it to be Icefall time.
I'm sorry, it's Icefall time. Like Sam's got the bridge, but he can no longer defend it. I think the only question is whether you sack Neonate or Darkblast Narcomoeba. Seems like sack Neonate. I think. Sam's gonna use his bobble.
Does Sam have one more trick up his sleeve here?
I mean, he's empty-handed. What's he even thinking about here?
The answer is no. No, he does not.
I don't know what it would be. I mean, he's not actually dead. He gets another turn.
Yeah, I mean, he's thinking about whether or not he wants to activate Pixis, I believe.
Perhaps he's reading Gatherer rulings on Icefall. What is this card? The iciest of falls.
Raph might be thinking about whether it's better to crack Neonate or Darkblast.
Agreed. I mean, he's going to wait for Sam's end step for any of that, though, right?
Mm-hmm. I think the main benefit of cracking Neonate instead of Darkblast Mine and Narcomoeba is that you do get to save the Gemstone Mine counter.
Oh, he didn't spend his mana. That surprises me.
Yeah, right?
Why did he not spend mana? I don't get it.
I don't know either.
Oh, because Sam cracked Mishra's Bauble, so there's a card in his hand. He gets to attack for 3 because of the Bauble trigger. Hilarious. I don't want to sack a creature that can attack for 33% of your life total.
Oh, I missed that too, yeah.
Ixis is going to hit the Faithless Looting. Yeah, Levy didn't need to pull the trigger right there because Sam wasn't empty-handed. Hilarious. Neonate gets Pixist. Fixed. Verb form of Pixis of Pandemonium.
So I guess Sam needs to play the Codex Shredder and rebuy Welding Jar.
Oh my.
Otherwise, it's just dead to Icefall here, right?
I think he's dead to Icefall.
Oh, here we go.
He sees it. Hats off to him.
Exactly enough mana. Am I allowed to be a little bit of a hater?
Yeah.
Okay. I hate both of these decks.
Well, yeah, Levy's doing his Icefall trick.
Yeah. I mean, I like playing against them. I think it's fine, but I have no interest, just no interest in piloting them.
Come on, this is great.
Is it?
That's awesome.
Which is more your style of Magic?
Dredge versus Lantern? Probably Dredge. I mean, I certainly have played Dredge in Vintage. I've done nothing
That's
resembling this Lantern deck. And I don't know. I find myself in love with, Levy has just this encyclopedic knowledge of all these crazy corner case cards that might have some synergy with a graveyard deck.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotta respect it.
You do. And I do. And I absolutely do.
All right. Well, he found a 5th land, so he doesn't have to use Gemstone Mine counters for this Icefall. All he's going to get is a Welding Jar this time, but then we just repeat. I guess it'll be a 2-turn cycle unless Levy draws another land.
Yeah, I mean, Sam has a little bit of manipulation over the top of his library again, so he can upkeep, activate Pixis, and hope to hit another Welding Jar or Shredder or something. Or yeah, he really needs to get another cage, right? I guess that doesn't stop the Icefall.
Oh, Surgical Extraction would stop.
Surgical is perfect.
Wow.
That is the card, and we can hard cast it. Oh man!
Oh,
which is
wow.
necessary.
2 life, but he's got the Glimmer Void for the blackmail. He's got the Darkslake Shores too.
That
Surgical Extraction is able to target Icefall, and Levy is 1 mana short of responding by picking it up.
So now Levy's only real out back into the game is to get a grudge, right?
Crazy. He might still have a Conflagrate in his deck. I think he has 1 Conflagrate in his deck. I think that might actually be why he's dredging right here, is to try to hit the Conflagrate.
Yeah. If he hit the other Icefall, I'd feel a little bit silly though. It's 1 card. So he did it in response to the Surgical, right?
Yeah, he did. There are 4 Ancient Grudges in the sideboard, so that he can also draw Ancient Grudge.
Right. The cool thing about keeping the Neonate around too is that the Neonate would be an out to the Lantern lock, but I guess dredging just a ton this turn is also an out to the Lantern lock.
Yeah, Levy's down to 2 cards. I mean, 21 cards in his library. He spilled a bunch of them in.
I wish I could see the full graveyard.
Yeah, can we open Levy's graveyard?
When I
saw the 2 mountains, I'm like, is there a Conflagrate in there?
That's what I do when I play against Dredge on Moto. I like that's like the only time I pop the graveyard out.
Same.
It's just as important as the battlefield. So flashing back looting is a thing.
Wait, recover triggered, so he exiled the Icefall? Is that what happened? He triggered recover, declined to pay, and Icefall was exiled by the recover ability.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Amazing.
That leaves the other Icefall in the graveyard or in the library. Yeah.
That is amazing. And he just found it with Faithless Looting.
Yeah, I completely missed that line. Obviously.
Wow. Levy didn't even hesitate too. Like, I saw him trigger the Neonate as a response to the surgical, and I'm just
Yeah. I was wondering what the reasoning was.
He fizzled the surgical extraction and defended 1 copy of Icefall, which he's now found.
I mean, if you see your whole deck, then that's definitely matters for sure. Very tight play.
Super tight. All right, there's an Icefall in the yard. Levy no longer has a creature that he can sacrifice voluntarily. But he does have a Darkblast that he can use to kill any of his creatures.
And Sam only has the 1 surgical, right? I'm pretty sure he only has 1. So the only way for him to deal with Icefall now would be to Codex Shredder it back, right? The surgical.
Sure. Life in the Loam to get land. Yeah. This seems like what Levy needs. He just needs more. Keep hitting these land drops so he can do things like cast a Darkblast, pay the recover cost, cast Icefall. He's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think he's going to have 7 mana next turn. He's going to have all of that turned on.
Yeah, I guess.
Sometimes your Dredge deck just needs to Life from the Loam for value to get to 7 mana. That's the game we're watching. Leyline of Sanctity is going to turn off Conflagrate, so Conflagrate no longer an out. But Icefall.
Yeah, I think Icefall just gets to win this next turn.
Icefall gets to win this next turn. Raphael Levy, you beautiful man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Sam Black Tech too, but man, Darkblast, my own creature, trigger, recover. Icefall is 2 to pick up, land drop, kill the bridge. He's got it.
Yeah, it seemed way too clunky, like in the early game when he was sitting there with an Icefall in his hand and 3 land. But I mean, it kind of switched the inevitability of the matchup, right? Like there's just 1 surgical extraction. Right, maybe if there were multiple surgicals or something, and then the way that he played to play around surgical was really nice too.
Unbelievable.
Definitely made it look really good.
Raphael Levy, ladies and gentlemen. Dredge wins, Icefall defeats Lantern, and sorry to say, you guys
Good beats though. Good beats though.
Yeah, no, it was good beats, and love that attitude. Team Madison loses 2-4, so it will be International Alliance who goes 1-1 in the first 2 rounds. It will be Team Madison out of the tournament at 0-2. Good news for you guys, though. It turns out R&D is not eligible to win prizes, so you win slightly more for 7th and 8th place than I had initially told you. I know that's the important part, right? A couple more drafts on the play design team. Wow. International Alliance is victorious. So that was just awesome. I mean, it doesn't really resemble Magic the way you would want to show to a new player, but
it was eventually awesome. Yeah.
It's eventually awesome. It was 2 great players playing very well, and the cards just interacted in super clever ways. So
yeah. And Levy, I mean, I thought both players played really well. Levy had that really cool play, saving the the surgical.
I didn't even know that Recover did exile if you declined. Look, I couldn't have gotten the Recover mechanic right if I hadn't not when I saw the deck list.